Hi, I'm Mary Schilling with What They Think, Cool Tools Edition. We're at the Fuji booth at Print United, and we're here to talk about Fuji's new Aspire program and all of its wonderful benefits made exactly for designers.
Hi, I'm Christine Yardley. I'm the president of Print Panther Direct in Toronto, Canada, and I'm excited to be here at the show and see all the new stuff.
Well, this video is a little different from the ones I normally do. This is actually the voice of customer using this new product. So tell me about this program from Fuji that you're using with your designers in-house.
Well, I think the whole idea about having a program like this and being able to have the access to it online and the tools that it gives, there's a guide that explains it really well, is it allows even your pre-press people to manipulate your files and get you what you want out of the press that you're using, because you've got metallic inks, you've got fluorescent inks, you've got white ink, and it just really gives you a simplified way forward to building your layers and processing the files.
And what is the program actually called?
It's the Aspire program, and there are other programs out there, but what we love about this program is that the Revoria, it makes the press sing, because it works with the press, it rips the files, everything's done, it's seamless, it's completely seamless.
So when we talk about a program, is it an actual separate program or is it an Adobe plugin?
It's a software addition, and it will work with any Adobe program. So it's an add-on that you can use, and it just helps you process and understand how your output's going to end up. So are you going to use an overlay? Are you going to use an underlay? How is that metallic ink going to work? And it just it simplifies the process.
So visually, a designer now who is designing with metallics can have a better understanding of what is going to happen off the press previous to actually printing it?
Yes, it's a very smart processor, and it will actually tell you what you should be doing to get the desired effect as well. But if you have something in your head that you want to do, and you know that you want to make that more translucent or more, because you have to think about this, a specialty toner is like an ink, it blocks out everything, right? So you have to have that in your mind when you're trying to get these subtleties in your design. So this program does that for you. So it simplifies it hugely.
So how many designers do you have using it?
Well, I mean, I work with a lot of designers. In-house, I have a few designers, but usually I'm working with my clients' work. So I will help them work with me with the Aspire program, or because anybody can use the Aspire program. But I think if you're a designer that's into embellishments, you'll understand the whole process, and this just makes it simpler. Right. And also there's a guide that explains it really well, and there's also samples and different techniques that you can use that maybe you hadn't thought about.
So what makes this addition to Adobe program different is when designers actually start applying embellishments, it's hard to understand what's going to happen. So if the designer cannot visualize it from the layers in Adobe, it's harder for them to understand or actually apply those special effects for the machine.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And also, it optimizes what you're doing. That's what it does. It optimizes your end result.
That's fantastic. So we talk about all these colors. How do these colors integrate in with, say, if you're using Pantone Live?
It can go into any of your libraries, and you can mix and match your library. So you can put a specialty toner color into your library, and you can carry it over to other libraries. It's totally integrated.
So when you actually apply this, are you doing layers in, say, Illustrator or Photoshop?
Or Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, it works with all the Adobe platforms.
Okay, so you're saying it's WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get on screen?
Well, no, because don't forget, when you're looking at something on screen, there has to be a little trial and error. If anybody tells you differently, it's simply not true. But what it does is that it saves you a lot of steps to get to that end result. And you might still want to do a print and say, I'm going to tweak that slightly. Maybe I'm not going to use 100% gold in that. Maybe I'll use 70% gold. And so you do have to play around. But what this does is it suggests the easiest way to get to your end result. And it does it for you.
So when a designer is designing, the colors that they choose out of the color library from this program will actually be represented correctly, but the RIP knows how to screen those colors and layer them with the rules that the designer has given them?
Yes, it's intuitive, and it will adjust. And I mean, you have to give it the knowledge. I mean, it's like any. I always think of AI. I mean, you have to give the knowledge. You have to nudge, but it just streamlines it for you, and it puts the process out the other end. It works so well with the Adobe programs, and this particular front end is brilliant. It was we've worked with other ones in the past. This one is so much more intuitive.
So if a designer is new to how to actually use this and all the fun things that you're able to do, does it give you suggestions?
It will give you the optimal setup, but what a designer has in their head might not be what they're trying to get. Especially when, like, it's funny with fluorescent pink. Such an amazing thing to use, and a lot of designers don't get, if you use it as an overlay, the different setup, the impact that will have. Metallic inks have been around a little longer. I love fluorescent pink, but I think that what it does is it gives them suggestions, but more optimal layering, and you still have to go in and tweak.
And what machine are you actually applying this on? What Fuji device?
The Revoria. Yeah, the Revoria press, which we love. We've had it now for over a year, and we've always had a metallic ink press, but this one is brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're very pleased with this program.
We're very pleased. And you know, we try to get involved in a lot of programs that relate to our presses. This one's actually really tangible, and it's easy to use, and it's interesting. It's different.
So naming of this, the Inspire, is truly inspiring for the designer.
You know, it was a perfect name. Yeah, great name.
All right, well, how long have you had it?
Well, we've had the Revoria now for just over a year, but we've always had a metallic ink press.
And then what about the program that you're using?
The same length of time.
Same length of time.
We kind of launched together.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being the voice of customer. The Aspire program sounds like a really cool program for designers, and Fuji's got it.
And anybody can use it.
And anybody can use it. It's not just for Fuji customers. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Hi, I'm Mary Schilling with What They Think Cool Tools Edition at Print United in the Fuji booth. And we're going to be talking about their new Aspire program that has been designed for designers to help the creativity of using metallic inks.
Thanks, Mary. Great to have you here.
Thank
Andrew,
you for having me.
Thank you, as always, for being a great partner. Andrew Gunn, Head of Product Marketing here at Fujifilm. Glad to have a conversation with you today about our new Aspire program.
Fantastic. So how long has this program been out?
So when I came to Fujifilm, I noticed that we had all this great technology for CMYK Plus, digital embellishments, print decoration, call it whatever you want. And we had more that was coming, which we're showing here today. But we didn't have a program to really help our customers kind of onboard all the great things that we were showing. And also, the fact of the matter is we could, and we have been greater with showing that. So, you know, we came out with the program about a year ago now. So it's I'd say it's in its toddler years right now, I'd like to say. And the program has been a great success. It's not just about print, but it's also helping, you know, elevate that whole design industry and how we can make the economics work for our customers. And we've got the portfolio now, platform, where we have this sort of good, better, best story, all things being great. So we're very excited about it, but we want you guys to be excited about it as well.
Absolutely. From what I've learned, it's very intuitive for the designer.
Yeah.
But we keep talking that it's a program. So is it an application or is it a process that you train designers with?
Good question. So what it is, it's a collection of different things. So everywhere from design guides, designer tools. We've got a new updated design guide for all our new products because designing for CMYK Plus requires kind of that next level attention to detail. So we're doing that. So we've got monthly training sessions so that are part of the program, but it's so much more. Customers come to us and say, Andrew, our customers aren't asking for that. How do we get into that? So we create tools like, you know, things like automotive brands, hospitality brands, retail brands, beverage brands, how to go after them, questions to ask, applications that they can sell to those brand owners that represent all those amazing verticals. To pricing tools on how to estimate for the specialty inks that we use, right down to the press level for operator quick tip guides. So if you think about this program, it's an all-encompassing from designers to pricing to marketing, to the salespeople, all the way down to the actual operator. So we touch every discipline of that, let's call it CMYK Plus journey, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we all know, everything starts with the designer.
It does, yeah.
And in the past, it is hard to understand what's actually going to happen for overprints, underprints, when you mix these different metallic inks, what's truly going to happen. So let's talk about this integration that you have with Adobe programs and how easy it is for the designers.
Well, yeah, and it really is. So we create these programs. We've created designer training, showing you step by step. So whether you mentioned Adobe, whether you're an illustrator or InDesign, whatever application you're working in, how actually easy it is to do. And I often will say taking the boogeyman out of it, or democratizing these capabilities. And as we mentioned, from the designer perspective, Adobe's obviously a key component to that, because that's where you design. But also, even at the RIP level, so take Adobe out of it for a second, even at the front end, the RIP level, you can add embellishments that weren't even in the file. So I can add gold, silver, clear. I can add pink to a photo to enhance skin tone. So it's probably more than just the upfront design tools. It's the whole, like I say, 360 experience. But getting back to the designer, one of the things that somebody kept on asking me today, a question I kept on getting asked was, I don't have any Fujifilm technology. Can I too join the designer training? And I said absolutely. And it was like she was very thankful. And I was like, you don't need to be thankful, because I say the saying a lot is that as the tide rises, we want all the boats to rise with it. That young lady, she might one day become a printer. She might become a brand owner, a marketing services provider. So we need to provide that safety net. And that's what we think, the Aspire program is for all things. So, the old saying is, you don't want to try to be all things to all people. We're making a pretty good go of it, I'd like to say, yeah.
Well, this is really neat. When I was first, started talking about it, one of the videos that we have accomplished is with the voice of the customer, an actual user that has the Revoria, along using the Aspire program. And she ranted and raved about how easy it was from a designer level. That is a really great testament to the entire program, from training to application, utilization of the RIP, and even more of the WYSIWYG, taking a lot of the pieces and parts and the guesswork out of mixing with metallic inks, because there's no profile for that for a visual on screen. It's not swap, it's not grackle. It's something totally different. And once again, you have to start with somebody wanting to use that and make it easy for them. And then that opens up so many different doors.
You got to make it easy. And it's not just for that. I'm glad that you are getting that voice to the customer, because a lot of the things, we don't know what we don't know. So when I hear somebody when I see those designers who just happen to print, those are the ones that I'm going after to find out, okay, you tell me about what I'm missing. So we're continually tweaking this thing. So the more feedback you get, make sure to send it on down our way, because we learn more because as we say, as the designers design, the printers print, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And one other thing that she had mentioned is your color library and how it integrates in with, say, Pantone Live, and how easy it is to basically visualize what those combinations are for those colors. It takes a lot of the guesswork out.
It takes a lot of the guesswork out, and knowing that a simple adding of pink, I can go from 80% of reproducible spot and Pantone colors. Now I add pink, I'm now hitting 94%, roughly right, of those spot and Pantone colors. And that's a very, very big thing. And again, to your point, we need help. And you also mentioned on-screen viewing. We're also using pink, and I love pink, right? I think it's the most flexible one, and absolutely our camera lady, she likes the pink as well. But when I think about it, it is the most flexible because it's going to fix photos, it's going to fix Pantone colors. However, what's the audience we're talking about here right now? Designers. Designers design typically in what? RGB, right? So we're using our RGB simulation in our Revoria Flow DFE using pink, RGB simulation with pink. So oftentimes we say, see what the designer sees. So they go through the design, the designer will print what they want to do, and the outcome's not exactly what they designed. So now, out comes their print, and they look and they go, yes, this is what I wanted to see. Now, we can't emulate a backlit RGB screen. We're never going to be able to do that on paper. But I think that this is a fantastic kind of new tool for the design community that, again, is just embedded in how we handle workflow.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier for the designer to have the conversation with marketing also,
Yeah.
because now you're bringing that all together, and also the cost estimation. Because
Cost
that's,
estimation is
that's
huge.
a big one.
And it's, again, adding pink, and when I first started in this game, I say, oh, you're going to win more business, or you're going to better margin on those jobs, you're going to get paid more. And while that's true, I've actually had printers say, no, you don't get it. He's like, we just put pink in there. It's pennies, it's fractions of pennies on the dollar. And Andrew, we just win more business. And he goes, and then from there, he goes, that's when the margin comes. He goes, but this, when you put this beside a regular old 4-color job, and our price is the same, he goes, I'm going to win every time, Andrew. So this, and I was like, you know what? You're right. Thank you for schooling me on that. But so it's a journey, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is a great program, application, series of tools that now the whole entire workflow has in their toolbox.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. So you call it Aspire, but it's also Inspire.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
Aspire is the name,
Yeah.
but it inspires.
We say it's aspire to inspire.
Inspire.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks
This
as
is
always.
great.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for helping out the industry.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Thanks for
thank
stopping
you.
in.
Absolutely. I'm Mary Schilling with What They Think, Cool Tools Edition. Thanks for watching.